Hello Spurs, welcome to Lesson 1 of Dolphins on Duty. We're going to be looking at text features as we do our read aloud to figure out what the central idea is. The central idea is what the story is mostly about. When we're reading informational text, there's special features that informational text have. So let's look at that right now. Let's pull up Dolphins on Duty. You may go to it from that link that's in your PowerPoint or on your PDF file. Let's look at the title first, Dolphins on Duty, and there's a photograph. The U.S. Navy trains these super smart animals to work on life-saving missions. I'm noticing another photograph. Subtitles, the best of the best. I see bold print, adapt. On the job, another subheading. Another vocabulary word, detect. Reporting for duty, a mini glossary, words to know, adapt, and detect. And then I'm noticing a diagram here on animals undercover. They discuss bomb-sniffing bees, private pigeons, and suspicious squirrels. And then down here, there is another diagram on echolocation. Now let's look at our glossary before we read our story. Adapt is a verb. It means to adjust to new conditions or situations. And detect. Detect is also a verb, and it means to notice or discover. Now, just looking at the title and the subheadings and the diagrams, I have a feeling it's about animals. And specifically, in the title, it says Dolphins on Duty. So I know it's going to probably be about dolphins. Now, even though they do mention some animals here, looking at the rest of the title, the headings though, best of the best, on the job, reporting for duty. And just in the title itself, Dolphins on Duty, the U.S. Navy trains these super smart animals to work on life-saving missions. So, I'm thinking that the story is going to be about dolphins helping the Navy. Okay, I'm predicting that is going to be my central idea. I still need to read the story, but just looking at the text features, I'm starting to figure out, okay, I think this is what it's going to be about. So as we read through Dolphins on Duty, we will figure out what the central idea of the story is. All right, let's begin reading. As you read, think about why dolphins were chosen to help the Navy. What qualities do they have that make them a good choice? Also, I want to read this caption right here. It says the dolphin in training off the coast of Hawaii. In April, a fishing boat was bobbing along the Arctic Ocean. As it sailed near the coast of Norway, a country in Europe, a fisherman on the boat spotted a beluga whale. The whale was wearing clips to hold a camera. Why would a whale need a camera? Could the animal be a spy? The answer just might be yes. The whale also had clips on its harness with the words St. Petersburg. That's the name of a city in Russia. Officials say this means the whale was likely trained by the Russian military as a spy. This may seem a bit fishy, but whales, dolphins, and other marine mammals are used to help militaries around the world. That includes the United States military. The U.S. Navy Marine Mammal Program currently has more than 100 sea animals protecting our country from underwater threats. Okay, so just in reading that introduction, it's already kind of revealing what the central idea is about. It's talking about different sea animals that are being used by the military for different purposes. I'm going to go ahead and highlight a little bit of information so far. I'm going to highlight this: whales, dolphins, and other marine animals are used to help militaries around the world. Okay, now I'm going to keep on reading. The best of the best. The Navy program started in 1959. In the early years, the Navy tested out more than a dozen animals. That means 12, including sharks, sea turtles, and birds. Today, just 2 species are used, bottlenose dolphins, and California sea lions. The Navy Dolphins and Sea Lions perform missions that the Navy cannot yet accomplish in any other way, says Mark Zitko. He's the director of the program. Both animals are very smart and easy to train, and both can quickly adapt to different environments, like shallow waters or deep seas. But there are more dolphins in the program because they use echolocation. That means they use sound to see underwater. Okay, so let's review what we just read, the best of the best. So they're talking about the Navy program and when it started in 1959. And they're talking about the kind of animals that they use. They use sharks, sea turtles, and birds. But right now they're only using dolphins and sea lions. And the reason for that is because they're able to adapt, meaning that they're able to adjust to their environment. And they also can use echolocation. So they're ideal animals to use for this purpose. Now let's go to on the job. Dolphins begin training at Naval Base Point Loma in San Diego, California, when they're a few years old. Handlers show them how to look for and mark the locations of underwater explosives called mines. Mines could hurt or kill people on military ships, and they can be difficult for humans to detect, meaning to find. But it's no problem for dolphins. Using echolocation, the animals can easily see through dark, muddy waters. Plus, they can dive hundreds of feet below the surface, much farther than humans can. Trainers also teach dolphins to identify enemy swimmers. The animals are natural hunters, says Zitko. We just change what they learn to hunt for. So they're talking about what the dolphins are doing on the job. So they're getting trained in California when they're little, and they're using echolocation to identify some of the things that they're looking for. So they're looking for mines or other things that the military are needing them to locate. Reporting for duty. In the past 40 years, Navy-trained animals have traveled to the coast of more than a dozen countries on official missions. When they aren't on a mission, the dolphins help with security at Navy bases around the world and prepare for future jobs. They will be ready if they are needed, says Zitko. Navy dolphins and sea lions are always on duty. Okay, so they're talking about the different jobs that they do that even when they're not on a mission, they're ready. They're ready to do their jobs. So down here we have how it works, and there's 4 steps, and they talk about how the dolphins use echolocation, which helps them with their job performance. Over here we have animals undercover, and they're talking about how they're using bees to smell bombs, private pigeons, and then over here suspicious squirrels. So I need to, since I'm looking at all my text features and I read through the story, I'm going to start to decide what I think the central idea is. The central idea, again, is what the story is mostly about. The story is mostly about dolphins helping the Navy. So my predictions before I read and after I read were the same. So that's what we're doing today. We're looking at text features and informational text, and then we're coming up with a central idea. And we're also reading the story. Tomorrow we're going to go into the supporting details. So there's going to be certain things that are in our story that explains to that's evidence that shows that dolphins are helping the Navy. Those are my supporting details. So in your graphic organizer that you have attached to your lesson, right now we're in the main idea, which is here. Sorry, this is the main idea right here. And tomorrow we'll go into the supporting details that supports the main idea. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow for lesson 2.